Okay, let's talk about what you are good at. Let's talk about your strengths. Now, this is a bit of an interesting topic because on the surface, I think we'd all say, yeah, of course, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, there are some things I'm good at, and we would admit that. But I wonder how much time and energy do you spend thinking about what you're good at, let's say your strengths, and how much time and energy and focus do you put on the opposite end of that? You know what I'm talking about, your weaknesses, right? Now, there seems to be out there, and I've taken a poll across the whole planet Earth, and especially in the female population, there seems to be a bit of an imbalance in these two things. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you sense that in yourself? Do you witness that in your friends? Do you see that happening all over the place? Now, I say it's more women than men, but that's just because some men, of course I'm generalizing, have perfected the art of being a braggart. And us women, maybe not so much. Hello, welcome. So if you notice this and you see it or you recognize it in yourself, then you may find our little topic today of interest. Okay, that's what we're going to be talking about. So my name is Kylie Ansett. I am the Alignment Whisperer, and I am a life coach and guide to seekers of alignment. Those like yourself who are looking to get in touch with your inner brilliance, your inner part that has all the answers, so that you can connect your head, heart, and hand and live a life of purpose. That is what I am all about, helping you to step out in the world in a way that aligns you with your values. So I'm coming to you from beautiful, rainy Sydney, Australia, and this is your daily dose of alignment. So let's talk about your strengths. Come on, don't hide your light under a bushel. Stop it. Stop hiding your light under a bushel. I want to know, if I was to ask this question of you, just off the top of your head, what are 3 things that you are really good at? 3 things that you excel at? 3 things that that are hands down your strengths. Now, would you be able to just bang, 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 yep, this is it, this is it, this is it. Now, you may be able to, and if you are able to do that with ease and without hesitation, then I salute you. Because how about if I ask you this question? What are your weaknesses? What are you not good at? What do you fail at? Now, if you are able to answer that easier, and I know it because I'm guilty of it myself, like, it's so much easier to point out what we're not good at. And why do we do this? Why? Because we know that what we focus on, we bring about. Whatever we look at and put our energy and our attention on, we get more of. And yet somehow we think that we're being, noble or kind of not being too loud or proud, and we tend to focus on those things that we're not good at, or let's say we're aware of, right? We're aware of our strengths, but we mumble them, we'll kind of say them in passing, or we'll be a bit dismissive, we'll use diminutive terms. I noticed myself doing one in the introduction. Did you notice that? The word just or little, I think I used one or two, or both of those. Those are diminutive terms that we tend to use to kind of belittle ourselves, not in an overt way, not in an aggressive way, just in a subtle, this is really subtle, under the radar kind of stuff. And I want you to start noticing it when you are doing it for yourself. It may be easier to observe it in others first, because I think when we do it ourselves, we're so caught up in the moment, right? You hear what I'm saying? We get so caught up in exactly what we're doing and saying, we don't even realize we're doing it. But you can witness others doing it. And when you see that, then you can start becoming a bit more self-aware. So yes, we're aware of our strengths, probably. One would hope we are, but we don't bring them to mind on a consistent on a constant basis, in the same way that we often bring our weaknesses to mind on a constant, consistent basis, right? So we can, like I said, we'll talk about our strengths in passing, but our weaknesses will be running on a loop in the background of our mind. And so then when something happens that proves the point, we instantly link it up with that weakness. Oh, well, that's because, I always forget, or I always get lost, or I always don't follow through, or, procrastinate, whatever it is that you've decided is, your weakness. And we wear them a little bit like a badge of honor. And I am curious, like I don't know why we do it as women. And as I said, I do think men are the same. I don't think that men are walking around as these kind of gods of confidence. I just think that they, because of the general nature of manliness, just to get along, they've had to perfect the art of bragging, whereas women not so much. And so the bragging is just as much of a falsehood as the being diminutive is for women. But I'm mainly talking to women here, right? So I guess men have got their own forums for discussing what's going on and how they do this. But I'm certainly not thinking that they have it all together and that women don't. I just think that the way we tend to undermine ourselves is by being in touch with our weaknesses more than we're in touch with our strengths. So here is my suggestion, and I have been trying this, and it's a challenge. It's an exercise in concentration, because definitely the tendency is to immediately spot when we show up in a way that's when we get it wrong, to immediately go to that and go, oh, now a little bit of it is I don't know, perfectionist, or that when you do something wrong, you want to identify it and you want to correct it. So we might justify why we have this focus on our weaknesses. But the thing is, if that is not balanced by a similar level of energy and attention on our strengths, that's where the problem comes in. That's where we kind of have an imbalance, because what will happen is we will very quickly spot the weaknesses and the strengths will almost just go under the radar. Now, when I work one-on-one with my clients, this is one of the main things that I do, is they will tell me something that they have done or said or shifted, or how a perspective has changed, and they'll say it in passing. They'll sandwich it into a conversation so that you could miss it if I wasn't listening like an eagle, I would miss it. Like, it would just go, and I go, whoa, back up. What did you say just then? Oh, this and this happened. Yeah, hang on, but that's huge. Do you not get how huge it is? Oh, I guess it is. That is a typical response that I get when I'm working with clients. Do you relate to this? Look, I know I do it myself. And I think when I see it in clients, that's when I start seeing it in myself. And I'm like, we don't recognize when we have done something, or when we have shown up in our power. We dismiss it. We don't give it the attention. And I really do think it's because of that constant loop playing in the background, which helps us to identify our weaknesses. So my challenge to you, my suggestion, my offering to you right here, right now, is, let's say for the next 24 hours, so whatever time it is right now when you see this, 24 hours from now, that's not too long, right? You can manage this. You're going to be sleeping for at least a few of those hours. For the next 24 hours, see if you can have the loop running around your strengths, not your weaknesses. So the first thing to do is identify 2 or 3 things that are your zone of genius, 2 or 3 things that you are really, really good at. They can be abstract or they can be specific. It doesn't matter. And when I say that to you, if you can't bang, 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 bring those up in the instant, then you got some work to do right there. Just sit down and think about 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. No limit on the number, but enough that you can hold it in your mind sort of constantly. And for the next 24 hours, see if you can run that loop. Just run that loop. I am so good at being decisive. You know, I am brilliant at being able to cut through the crap and see the real issue. I am so good at taking action on my, whatever it is, like you know, just say, and have that loop running in the background. So this is a concentrated, intentional thing. So try it for 24 hours. Now, because you have that loop running, the other loop, if you tend to be like a lot of us and have the other loop, which is the what you get wrong, will kind of be shouted out. It will be downplayed. It basically won't have any room to actually you know, show itself. So that's the key. That is the thing to do. Try it. It's going to be fun. Try it, because after 24 hours, like, get back to me and let me know. I'm really curious to know if there was a shift in, shall we say, how you felt. Yes, I think there probably would be, but more importantly, how you showed up, what actions you took, what did you do differently? How did you interact with people in a different way? That is going to be the magic. And just imagine if you didn't just do this for 24 hours, but you did it for a week, a month, a year. Like, just imagine what tiny little minute daily shifts would end up in being a complete different perspective and life that you showed up in, just by doing this one action. Now, I'm suggesting just 24 hours because I know that this takes quite a bit of concentration, especially if it's a new habit, right? Like, it's what I think will happen is that you'll catch yourself in the old way multiple times in the next 24 hours. So if I was going to make this a little bit more of a challenge, the challenge would be this. If over 24 hours you stop, you find yourself doing the other loop, the weakness loop, you got to start the 24 hours resets. Now, if you did that, this could take quite a while. I get it. But so take your pick, whichever one you want to do. Have fun with it. That is the main thing, because, right, you know, if we don't enjoy these things and if we can't laugh at ourselves, like, don't blame yourself or beat yourself up. I mean, that's just adding fuel to the fire, right? We have acted in this way because it was a belief that we formed that this was going to be the best way to get along. And it served us up until now. But we do have a choice. And this is what I am encouraging and exhorting you to step forward into. Actually, I have a choice. I don't just have to go along the habitual patterns I've been replaying over the last, you know, decade, 2 decades, however long. I can make an intentional choice as to whether I put a new soundtrack in there, and let's make a choice and start it today. So it's not about beating up yourself about what you have done. It's about making intentional, informed choices that are going to serve you going forward. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found that informative and interesting. And if you want to take the challenge, so let me know, because I think, you know, it would be pretty interesting for everyone involved. Thank you so much for playing with me in the Alignment Sandbox. I enjoy your company, and I so much honor you for taking this journey of alignment and stepping into your purpose and recognizing your inner brilliance, because you know that I do. I do that for you. That is my role here, and I want you to always remember that the power is within you. Bye-bye.